Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. The Internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. If you can't make it good, at least make it look good. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Discrimination has a lot of layers that make it tough for minorities to get a leg up. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. Don't let yourself be lulled into inaction. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Information technology and business are becoming inextricably interwoven. I don't think anybody can talk meaningfully about one without the talking about the other. The advance of technology is based on making it fit in so that you don't really even notice it, so it's part of everyday life. Treatment without prevention is simply unsustainable. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. I think it's fair to say that personal computers have become the most empowering tool we've ever created. They're tools of communication, they're tools of creativity, and they can be shaped by the user. I believe that if you show people the problems and you show them the solutions, they will be moved to act. If you go back to 1800, everybody was poor. I mean everybody. The Industrial Revolution kicked in, and a lot of countries benefited, but by no means everyone. In the long run, your human capital is your main base of competition. Your leading indicator of where you're going to be 20 years from now is how well you're doing in your education system. You may have heard of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. There's another day you might want to know about, Giving Tuesday. The idea is pretty straightforward. On the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, shoppers take a break from the gift buying and donate what they can to charity. I really had a lot of dreams when I was a kid, and I think a great deal of that grew out of the fact that I had a chance to read a lot. People always fear change. People feared electricity when it was invented, didn't they? People feared coal, they feared gas-powered engines. There will always be ignorance, and ignorance leads to fear. But with time, people will come to accept their silicon masters. Climate change is a terrible problem, and it absolutely needs to be solved. It deserves to be a huge priority. Everyone needs a coach. It doesn't matter whether you're a basketball player, a tennis player, a gymnast or a bridge player. When I was growing up, my parents were almost involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood. And it was very controversial to be involved with that. I believe in innovation and that the way you get innovation is you fund research and you learn the basic facts. Drones overall will be more impactful than I think people recognize, in positive ways to help society. I'm a great believer that any tool that enhances communication has profound effects in terms of how people can learn from each other, and how they can achieve the kind of freedoms that they're interested in. In business, the idea of measuring what you are doing, picking the measurements that count like customer satisfaction and performance, you thrive on that. Historically, privacy was almost implicit, because it was hard to find and gather information. But in the digital world, whether it's digital cameras or satellites or just what you click on, we need to have more explicit rules, not just for government but for private companies. Security is, I would say, our top priority, because for all the exciting things you will be able to do with computers, organizing your lives, staying in touch with people, being creative, if we don't solve these security problems, then people will hold back. Bitcoin is mostly about anonymous transactions, and I don't think over time that's a good way to go. I'm a huge believer in digital currency, but doing it on an anonymous basis I think that leads to some abuses, so I'm not involved in Bitcoin. Governments will always play a huge part in solving big problems. They set public policy and are uniquely able to provide the resources to make sure solutions reach everyone who needs them. They also fund basic research, which is a crucial component of the innovation that improves life for everyone. Innovations that are guided by smallholder farmers, adapted to local circumstances, and sustainable for the economy and environment will be necessary to ensure food security in the future. There are websites that any government wants to block. The truth about the internet is that it's extremely hard to block anything, extremely hard. You'll never get perfect